Uh, we rolled in to 1969. The Vietnam War was still here. You had a lot of radical groups out there. Country Joe and the Fish, Fixin' to Die, talking about Vietnam. You had a lot of protest things going on. Joan Baez was still on the scene as Pete Seeger. You know, some of the old folkies were still around. And then you moved into the 70s. And of course, some of your people were still there. Led Zeppelin, Eric Clapton, solo by himself. Beatles broke up. George Harrison solo. John Lennon solo. Ringo, Paul. Things were changing in the 70s. By the mid-70s, the Vietnam War had finally ended. We no longer had to be drafted. Music was good for a while, and then disco came, and oh my goodness. That kind of messed things up for a lot of us. Then you had punk music. Made you wonder. And by the time it got to the 80s, well, a lot of us just stood back. But by the 90s, you had revivals of all the 60s groups and 70s groups. Music was changing. And by 2000, you had rap, which refused to go away. But you still had rock and roll, which continues today, but it's in a different form. It's not the same form that we had years ago. You still had the diehards like the Beach Boys, but a different form. We still had Brian Wilson. And Paul was still in hand, and the Rolling Stones. The Kinks had ceased to exist, though they made it at least to 1990.